All right, hello, my name is Brandon Todd Jackson, and I've been recording a series of videos showing my evolution from a practicing data scientist into an AI systems architect, building AI-powered digital products. In order to do that, I had to create a portfolio that shows that I've been able to create real, live digital products that people are actually using. I've been able to actually monetize that. And so the first thing that I wanted to create is a portfolio or a personal website that branded the Brandon Todd Jackson name, because there's a lot of Brandon Jacksons. I wanted to separate myself and show that I am truly building AI powered digital systems. And so I built this from scratch using Cursor AI, along with other tools such as Claude and Perplexity. And so now what we're going in and we're doing today, we have the website that's on a local host. The local host is where we're actually developing. And then you actually have the live website, which is BrandonToddJackson.com. You will notice that it has a responsive design. Whenever I go in, it loads, and I have a mobile responsive nature to this, to where whenever I'm looking at this on mobile, now you see that instead of things being stacked from left to right, everything is stacked from top to bottom. All right. And so the thing that I actually want to introduce now, I want to show, instead of the actual case studies, which have problem solution outcomes, these are just templates. I want to actually embed a few projects that I've actually worked on. So the first project is Godly Deeds. This is my baby. So it is AI powered spiritual growth. So using AI to help facilitate deep and rich Bible study. In this, essentially, Bible study for everyone, it has a few. This was my first project in the sense of scaling and transitioning from data science to an AI systems architect. This is the landing page that it created. So I'm just going to go ahead and hop in, and I'm going to log in. And so this shows that I have authentication built into this thing. I'm going to use one of my email addresses. And so now when you're in, you're live, and it has all of the feature studies. You can pop this open and it pulls out the power of God's name, a strong fortress, the overview, backstory, heart of the story. It has a timeline and key points. And then it also has questions in terms of facilitating active dialogue, future readings, and book recommendations as far as relevant content. So you can go in and you can look at multiple versions of a scripture, translation that cross-references all of the scriptures or all of the versions, and it tells you a normal 7th grade language understanding of what it's trying to tell you. Then you also have book recommendations that you're able to pull up in terms of how are these books relevant to the study of topic. And then you have YouTube videos that you can go in and you can watch the YouTube video based on the study that you're trying to do. And so with this, just to show you the power of it, I'm just going to create a Bible study, how to be financially responsible spiritually. Generate the Bible study. Right now, it's going off and it's looking through spiritual context. It's looking through peer-reviewed journals. It's looking through the Internet of Things, and it's pulling across multiple translations. And so it has a high, medium, and low. And I have this ultra specific in terms of what are the critical issues. So it's saying Proverbs 31:12 emphasizes the importance of being prepared for the future through wise financial management. It states she does him good and no harm in all the days. This verse focuses on the virtuous woman's character and positive impact of her family rather than specifically on financial management or being prepared for the future. So essentially all this is saying is that it's biblically accurate, but it's not accurate to the thing that you created, that you're focused on. And so you can go in here and then you can publish, you can go through all the editing, you can fully edit this, and then you can create and share this on the internet. And so this is the first project. It's GodlyDeeds.ai. That's the first project. Then I've been building an ecosystem of products around this AI demystified space. AI Demystified is a brand that me and a business partner were standing up to help people understand what is AI and what can you do with it. And so just as a demo, we created a professional ebook in less than 5 minutes. So again, this is a landing page. All of this was built with AI. It's responsive as well. You can hover everything you need to sell digital products, professional quality, lightning speed. You start creating your ebook. It has a template. digital product creation with the template. It builds out basically an ebook that has the publishing of like a Random House formatting. All you have to do is add your name, Brandon T. Jackson, and create the audience and the tone, because it looks through Reddit and it figures out the tone and the pain points that the audience is actually trying to solve. This is the AI powered digital product. And so it's creating an ebook that you can then take, and it's going to just generate a PDF that you can download, and you can send that off to your designer and they can create the front end to it. One of the biggest things with creating an ebook was consistency in the voice of the author across the actual ebook. And so it's going through multiple chapters. It's making sure that it's consistent, it's proof checking, and it's making sure that there's no plagiarism that's happening in the background. And when this is complete, you're able to download the PDF and ship it off to someone who can add the final touches. The sections are very well laid out. It has the quote sections, and it tells you total words, estimated pages, and the read time is around 41 minutes. And then, so what you do is you can edit each of these sections if you wanted to. We can cancel, and then you can download this ebook. Your ebook is ready. We're just going to download the editable version of it. And so now when that downloads, we can open it up, and you have a version of the digital product is by Brandon Todd Jackson. So this looks like a professionally styled ebook. All right. And so now you just have to add the visual elements and bring in all of the images that you want to. All right. So that's one of the projects. And then another one is turn any AI video into structured mini course. So the reason behind this is because AI moves so fast that there's no course that can actually keep up with AI. By the time you go to sleep one day and Cursor 2.0 comes out, large language models that are being embedded into the actual browser. So browser level agents have been created. So this, you can go in, you can sign in. I'm going to sign in to the team that I created this for. So you have multiple courses, 2-hour money machine, build your first AI digital product, 6-week life intensive, GPT zero to productive in GPT, complete beginner's guide. And so this is a course that is self-updating. All right. You can go in here and you can look and you can click through. One, you've created an actual digital course that has AI embedded in it, that has prompts embedded in it, but you can also go in and you can have chats with each of these videos. We have a curated list that's specific to a framework that allows you to build digital products, and it allows you to create a mini course out of every video and then be able to talk to these videos. All right. So that is a high level walkthrough of the projects that we created. Now we have to get into the actual building this thing. So I'm gonna hop back over into Cursor, and I am going to say, can you create a new feature branch for the project demos? This will replace the case studies TSX. I'm going to point to 3 projects that I actually created. I'm gonna let this spin up, and what you'll notice is down here on the left-hand corner, we see main, portfolio, get main. And so now it's running some code and it's creating the future project demos. All right. So created the demos. Now you notice in the bottom left-hand corner that we have switched over to future project demos. This is so that we can remain isolated from the original projects. So one thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in, I'm going to say case studies needs to be updated. Cards should now point to, and I'm going to give it the 3 websites that it needs to point to. The first one was Godly Deeds. The second project is going to be the AI Demystified, the actual application that has all of the courses. And then the third one is going to be a subdomain, the ebook generator. And we also have other things that are built into the AI Demystified ecosystem, but I'm going to start with that for right now. And then the other thing that I will have to do, I'm going to create some new files and drop it into the public folder. These are going to be the actual logos. I'm going to drop in 2 files. All right. So now we have final logo. Here, I'm going to click on this. All right. And then we have Godly Deeds, the logo for Godly Deeds. This is a SVG. And I'm going to say, I actually want to build a plan. Use first principles and sequential thinking to execute. And so right now, I'm going to build plan. All right. So right now, we've done a few things. We pointed to the web. We created a feature branch so that it remains isolated from the current main branch, because these can introduce breaking changes. Then we pulled in the actual website so that it can point to it, so that we can then hyperlink. And then we dropped in a few logos. So case study content for each of the 3 projects. Please provide problem statement, measurable outcomes. All right. Logo assignment, which logo should be used for each project. Alternatively, if you want me to infer the case studies content from the website information and generate project context, I can draft placeholders. One thing that I need to do, I'm going to go over to Chrome. Can you check if the browser MCP tool is active? If so, see if you can access www.GodlyDeeds.ai. Take a screenshot if you can. Now what I'm doing is I'm extending the power of Cursor by creating an MCP connection. MCP is a managed context protocol. It was created by Anthropic, and it's a universal remote control that allows you to access other applications. Let's see what happens. All right, bam. Failed to capture an image. It navigated to it, but this is the power. This is also engineering. I built it in a way that you can't access my website. So now you see that the screenshot is blank. I'm gonna try something else. And this is the power of developing a website that can't easily be scraped by other tools. Now I'm trying to see, did I do a good job of making a defense around these websites so that they're not easily accessed? But Fire Crawl is touted as one of the most powerful web scrapers on the internet. Fire Crawl successfully scraped GodlyDeeds. Fire Crawl, you the real one. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to say, can you use Fire Crawl MCP to get the context that you need for the 2 questions above? And then for the AI Demystified app and the ebook app, it will use the same logo. The AI powered professional quality, analyze the current structure, case study interface. So now it's built out the plan. The plan looks solid, styling considerations, files to modify, the case studies, implementation notes, replace the placeholder with 3 projects and add logo displayed functionality. Content will be derived from Fire Crawl. I actually want to just make sure, can you make sure the logos aren't too distracting? I want to focus on the actual description of the websites. And then think through the problem solution. So we went in, updated case study interface, logo, circular, subtle, top left, power, AI power Bible study platform. Perfect. I love the updates that it's made. So now I'm going to actually look at, so I have 45% of my context used. So after I build this, then this is going to be we're going to tap out on this specific thread. But the thing that you noticed, you can create multiple chats. And I did a little bit of research in terms of GodlyDeeds, can the browser MCP just go and take pictures of it? If I found out that a little bit of security settings that I use blocked my native security features, but Fire Crawl, again, is the real OG in terms of web scraping. So it was able to pull some of the DOM information, the text that was embedded in the website. And so now it's going back, we're building the plan, the case studies, it's updated basically instead of the e-commerce. And this is what you actually want to do when you're updating these files, create some more space. You're seeing the change logs in front of you. And so you could either do the keep all, or you can go one by one and keep, okay, I agree with this, Bible study feels prescriptive, and okay, I agree with that. So I agree with everything. So I'm gonna just keep all. But again, if you were doing this in live for actual paying customer, you would want to create something of value and ensure that nothing is missed, all right, or nothing is misrepresented. And so there's no linting errors. Can you run npm build to see if there are any errors? If so, correct. All right. So now I'm going to go through the build process to see, before I even look at it, are there any errors? Because it may be cute, it may be nice, but I don't want to waste my time in trying to deploy this to Vercel. I want to fix the errors up front and I want to fix it fast. All right. The build was completed successfully. Now let's go over and let's look at what this website looks like. So we're going to go back into the actual local version of it. And then we may have to refresh. All right. So we see that there's some errors. There's a little bit of overlap. We see GodlyDeeds.ai outcome built AI products for 2 hours instead of help retrieve. Okay. So now view case study. Let's see if this is an actual dead link. So instead of the view case study, it needs to say view project. All right. But the hyperlinks are actually working. I'm going to go back. And so now I'm going to show you browser MCP, how it should be able to pick up screenshots of this application. Oh, so we have a runtime error. Perfect. So let's see exactly what's going on. We're going to inspect the console. So that's another thing. It can build. So let's run the build again and let's see what happens. So notice that when we clicked to the actual project and then tried to come back, everything worked until we tried to navigate and come back. All right, build completed successfully. Let's make sure that the server is running. All right, so now let's go back in and we're just going to refresh this bad boy. And we're still getting errors. We went through this earlier as well. So now let's do one more iteration using first principles. Challenge every assumption. Resolve this issue. And then I want to kill the development server and restart it. So we running into a 404. This is a CSS issue. So this is something with the formatting that isn't correct. So CSS is another part of the front end styling. And remember the logos, they were styled weird. They were overlapping each other. So a couple of things comes to mind. The framer motion, there may be a conflict in the actual versions of the packages, but it's going through this process. Once again, it's going to restart the dev server, and then we're just going to hop back over and see the next directory, remove production build artifacts. Okay, so there were some artifacts from the last build that were conflicting with this build. So let's go see. Cursor, don't fail me now. Bam. All right. So now we've resolved the issue. Let's take it to widescreen. All right. These live demos, the internet caught up for us. And so now let's go in and notice that the icons are too big. It's overlaid. So there's two things we want to check. Can we actually click on it and it take us to the website and us navigate back to the original website? All right. So we're seeing we have some errors, permission policy, error blocked by client. Let's see if we can just go back. So that's actually an issue with the GodlyDeeds website and not with our website. It had something to do with the redirect. So now what we're going to end up doing is we're going to take a screenshot. And really quick, I'm going to stage and commit the modified files to save the work, just in case it crashes, knowing that there's more updates that need to be made. Can you stage and commit the modified files and push to the future project demos branch? All right. So this is creating a new checkpoint. Show current, just making sure that we're on the futures project demo. And so just to show you what's happening, and this won't trigger a deployment because we're on a different branch. Vercel is configured to the main branch. So we can continue to make these updates and it won't impact the current live website until we pull this into the main branch. Now I want to show you that if you're in GitHub, and I'll have to refresh it just so that it can keep track. We're in the portfolio V2. We have a main branch, and then we have a future branch. It says that we're ahead of the main branch by one commit, meaning that we've recreated a commit against this branch that the main branch doesn't have. So now we want to go in and we'll make an update where we'll be 2 commits ahead, but hopefully we solve the issue and then we can pull this back into the main branch. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back to the website that's on local, and I'm going to take a screenshot of the top of these. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to give it to Cursor, and I'm going to say, and I want to point at the specific case study files. The case study file updates were made, but the icons are being overlapped. Can you make sure that this is fixed and make sure that there are no issues with the frame of motion or the CSS on the web page? And instead of the case studies at the link at the bottom, it needs to say view projects instead of case studies. All right, so it picked up what we needed it to change. I'm going to go over to the case studies file itself. Again, everything that's being updated, you can see, and you can go one by one and you can select if you want to keep it or not. I'm gonna just keep all for now. And then I'm gonna run the build. It's learning that I like to run the build after creating a new feature. It's been updated. View project. All right, I like it. Let's see what it looks like on mobile. All right, I like it. Oh, we have an error. So let's see what these errors are. It's a type error. So the build, when it was, so let's hop back over and it should self-update. Again, the CSS, we're gonna have to remove the some Next.js files, re-implement them, rebuild, and then we should be good to go. All right, we're clearing the CSS cache, and then we're running deb again. And once we clear that cache, we shouldn't have any further issues. Again, this is on local. So we want to just validate one more time, and then we'll stage and commit, push to the remote future branch, and then we're going to merge that to the main branch to close out this call. All right, so we're good. And I'm going to show you how to do this if you're brand new to version control. Can you merge the updated, stage and commit modified files, push to remote feature branch. All right, so we're going to stage and commit the changes that we made. All right, and now I need to merge these changes back to the main branch. All right, so it's going to check out the main, and then it's going to pull from that feature branch or fetch ahead. All right. All right, so the merge summary branch merged, push to remote is now up to date. All changes are alive in the main branch. And now whenever we hop back over to Vercel, now we should see it triggered. We should see a new build in the deployments. So it's building, fixed resolve logo overlap. So I'm gonna open this up and it is ready. Deployment is ready, 34 seconds. Just now the deployment happened really fast. I'm gonna deny all of these cookies because I don't want them searching, follow me around the internet. And then I'm gonna go to the actual website. There we go. So I had to just refresh it. I have the updated Brandon Ty Jackson at the top, architecting scalable AI systems for founders. We go down, we have our projects. We can click on the projects and it will take us to, since I've already logged in, it logs me in. But if you are new, it will take you to the main landing page. So I'm gonna close out this call. I have showed you how to create a new feature branch, how to create and merge new features into the main branch and deploy that into a live production environment